university degree, my friend in Petaling Street will get you one for cheap. Harvard, very easy. But if you actually want a university education, that costs a lot of money. But it's a need these days. You can't really get a job without a proper university education. But if it's a need, then should university education be free? Let's find out.
All in all, I do support that we should have free education.
Actually, yes, I think it should be free because sometimes people can study, but because their family cannot afford, so it restricts them from studying, which I think is really a waste.
A tertiary education is really needed in order to be able to advance further into society. Having a secondary level education really isn't enough for today's society.
So everybody wants education for free, right? But hey, nothing's free. Somebody has to pay for it, and usually it's the government. So why do governments pay or invest in education? Well, at the primary and secondary level, it's about developing basic capacities and capabilities, right? So you can read and write and do all those things. At the university level, it's about developing specific skill sets. So you can put those things into the economy and create a high value economy. So this means you can move away from agriculture and basic manufacturing and develop services that can then bring more value into the economy that pays off for that investment. It also means that in the long term, a highly developed, a highly educated society saves costs. It saves healthcare costs, it saves crime costs, which in those things also return your investment to the economy. But how do we pay for these things? Well, there are government universities, there are government scholarships, which are generally non-controversial. The biggest issue are government-funded student loans. Loans are great because loans give you far more access than these things. Loans also offer you flexibility because you can study many more different things. But loans also put you into debt before you even know whether you have a job in order to pay back those loans. So the question today is, if we have money and we know we want to use that money to invest in education because there are these benefits, should we then use that money to abolish these loans and offer free university education for all?
If you say that it is your right and all that, that's one part of the argument. But whether or not you are qualified to do it is another point. What is the multiplier effect of producing one free graduate? Is he qualified enough to be a graduate in the first place?
This is Reza, an investment manager. He believes that if you take loans, you should pay them back.
Okay, here's the thing. You take loans, you got to pay back, all right? Because no matter what loans you take, you have to pay back. Because if you don't pay back, there will be a spiraling effect behind the action of not paying back.
That's right. If you take loans, you have to pay them back.
Say for instance, me and you, kita teenager kan. You nak pergi universiti, I tak nak. Okay. Tapi sebab you nak pergi universiti, you dapat free education, then what's my benefit? I tak nak pergi universiti. So I don't get the benefit. So not fair lah to the economy, right? So maksudnya semua orang yang nak pergi belajar universiti je boleh dapat. No, not fair, right? Maybe I nak jadi dancer, for instance. Dancer, I just need to go belajar dekat Five Arts ke kan. You know, ambil theatre class ke apa ke kan. This one pun education. So it's correct. It's not fair lah, right? We have scholarships, right? If you get good grades, you're from the rural areas and all that, you get scholarship. If you apply for PTPTN loan, there is a portion in PTPTN loan where you get first class honours, you get waived. This all creates competitiveness in the society, which is what you need. Unless if you are telling me that we should be a socialist. Like everyone should achieve the same thing. I mean, if you are changing to becoming a socialist, then it's a different thing. I'm not saying that we should be like all-out capitalists, but this is a system that we have created and we are in, right? So everyone wants achievement. So in a society where you want achievement, there should be an element of competition.
A little bit of money can help, like a few 100,000. Yeah, so no, it shouldn't be abolished.
Yeah, and then PTPTN can help a lot of students.
No, I don't think PTPTN should be abolished. To avoid the fact that people are in debt and stuff, the government should actually investigate the people's income and to really know whether they can afford to pay back. Only they pay back. Like if you're going to buy a car, I don't think like if my income is 1,000 ringgit, they're going to allow me to buy a Porsche. Until further ways of subsidizing the
tertiary education is found, PTPTN should be, it should still be there.
Why we at the age of 18, 19, 20, if you finish Form 6 at age of 20, you need to buy. It's no longer is that to get education, you need to buy your education.
This is Mandeep Singh, who is suing PTPTN for detaining him in the country even though he paid his dues. He wants justice, freedom, and other important stuff.
Last month, if I'm not mistaken, there was a statement out by PTPTN. Total of 132,000 young Malaysians have been blacklisted, can't leave the country. The government should take the full responsibility of PTPTN, alright, in providing the students, young nation, free education. I have some figures here, alright. For the PTPTN, to cover yearly PTPTN amount that been used for giving students only 4 to 5 million. Will the country go bankrupt or not? The government can pay for this Tajuddin Ramli 589 million. This one. Number two, if you look at NFC, 250 million. NFC plus Tajuddin Ramli is already 800 million, which means we can. And submarine. Do we need submarine? This amount all we can use to provide to thousands of students, thousands of young Malaysians to get education. Car and education is a two separate thing. Education is not a luxury item. Car is a luxury item. Without having education, you can't earn that much. We should not say, should not keep on repeating, dah pandai pinjam, tak nak bayar. No.
So, should there be free education for all? Well, we've learned that the current PTPTN system is broken, right? It needs to be more transparent, it needs to be administered better, and they really need to be more careful over who they give these loans to, right? But even if this system is fixed, it still puts students into a lot of debt, even though we cannot guarantee that they will get the right kind of jobs to pay that debt back, because this system of giving loans doesn't guarantee an improvement in the quality of education. At the end of the day, if you have a bunch of money and you want to put into education, should there be free education for all? We're not really sure. We think before you do that, you need to improve the quality of education, and perhaps there's other things that we can do to use that money. But hey, you may have a different opinion, and if you do, visit us at kopitiamekonomi.com and share it.